Joe has the mentality of a fullback. I mean, he wants to go and hit him, a linebacker and stuff like that. But me and Coach Ensminger going to have a conversation with him.
I was joking with him yesterday. I was calling him Tim Tebow. But that's him. I mean, I can't speak for him. I know he's really passionate for the game, but also I want him to last for the whole season. You know, he's not a running back, and we only have 2 quarterbacks. So
I'm going to try to take some hits off of me. I don't know if I'm going to do the full Tom Brady slide, but I'll definitely try to take some hits off myself.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Tigers Roar with Jordy Hultberg. I'm Tommy Krysan. Good evening, sir. How are you?
Was that Jim McMahon with the headband on?
Man,
look at
Joe
that.
Burrow.
Joe Burrow. Slide, baby. He says, I'm not going to do the Tom Brady slide, but you hadn't played Auburn yet, and you got some bigger teams coming up as well, so slide, big fella.
Well, it's a big week because it's the conference opener.
Yep.
This will be the 11th time they've opened with Auburn in SEC play, 5-5 in the previous 10.
What's the one you remember the most? They have the nickname games from all of them.
Well, I got to go with Hudson to Fuller. I mean, I was there, and I remember that a lot. You know,
that was great, but I remember when the barn was burning.
In Auburn.
Yeah. And I was there, and the barn, very seldom do you watch a game and you see a fire coming over the top of a stadium. That was bizarre.
Well, again, it's a conference opener. It's going to be a big one Saturday. We'll tell you about that, but let's quickly recap last Saturday night, the home opener, as the Southeastern Lions made the 50-mile trip from Hammond over to Baton Rouge. First time they played since 1949. They made the trip on over there.
They never play again.
Might not ever play again, or it might be another 69 years before they play. But your thoughts, the big thing is they got the win, and according to Coach O, nobody got any serious injuries. Your thoughts on the paycheck game with the Lions coming in to play LSU. It was good to see them on the field, let their fans experience, the players experience it. LSU didn't look good, but they got it done.
A step back offensively. They need some work on the offensive line, obviously. I think that's a typical human nature game. They knew. It's amazing how certain players were suspended for that game. They weren't suspended for Miami, were they? And they're back now for Auburn. So there's a lot of things that go into play here. Look, this won't be remembered anymore or any less. It's over. It's done. Now everything's focused on Auburn.
All right, I have a question for you. You've been at that level. When you were playing basketball at LSU, who was the worst team in the conference?
Florida.
Okay. All right. LSU played Miami at the time ranked number 8.
Yep.
LSU plays Auburn this week, ranked 7th in both polls.
Right in the
They
middle.
know Southeastern's an FCS school, picked 9th or 10th in the Southland Conference, a new coach trying to get it going like they had it a few years ago when they actually won the Southland a couple of times. When you guys went to play Florida, I don't care how many times Coach Brown said they're going to hustle, they're strong, they're quick, they're well coached. Yeah, these guys are going to get after you, Jordy. You still knew that's Florida, and we can beat them with one arm time behind our back.
We would know in about a minute and a half. Okay, it's over. It's over.
So
that.
I'm trying to
give them a benefit of the doubt.
That's what I'm doing. Now if
unfortunately, you didn't get to play a Miles Brennan. Unfortunately, the offensive line, there's a lot of negativity, a lot of doubt there. And they're moving a defensive lineman to give some backup help on the offensive line. They're moving Austin Deculus to right tackle to help with Traore, who has really struggled. So, and Ed Orgeron doesn't pull any punches. He said, look, Auburn's way better than Miami. And we know that, and we're going to have to play a whole lot better. LSU's going to have to pass it better to have any shot to win this thing.
Well, it's all about the next game.
Yep.
So Tiger fans, It's what LSU does this Saturday with the 2:30 kickoff. Now keep in mind, it's a CBS game, 2:30 kickoff, Jordan-Hare Stadium at Auburn. That'll put the Pelican Sports post-game show on right after the game. TV, Facebook Live, WUBR on the smartphones, approximately 6:15, your calls, your text messages, all that good stuff on the Pelican Sports post-game show. Look for it about 6:15. It's a 90-minute program. TV will repeat Sunday morning at 9 a.m. and 10:30, and of course it'll be pinned on Facebook Live, the Pelican Broadcasting Facebook page. So that'll come up to you this Saturday. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back. We've been telling you something for, 6, 7, 8 weeks that, coming soon was Scoreboard Sports Grill and Catering. I got some stuff I can add to that announcement when we return after this pause on Tigers Roar, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans, and on the internet. Jordy Hultberg, Tommy Chrysan, stay with us.
Look, your dad gave me his baby to go pick up your brother from the airport.
Oh, honey, just take Mom's car. She just had navigation installed.
I totally got this. We were just there.
Hey, isn't that?
Yep. I programmed the airport in, just in case.
You don't need a new car to have new technology. Mike's Audio, conveniently located on Airline Highway near the corner of Bluebonnet.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Hi, I'm Jordy Hultberg for Tremonti's Meat and Seafood Market at 12451 Old Jefferson Highway. Chairman's Reserve steaks, their pork, their chicken, their seafood, top of the line. Primo barbecue pits, Icy Tech coolers. They can go anywhere and cater anything for you. Go to 751-7665 to call Tremonti's Meat and Seafood Market, where good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Tremonti's Meat and Seafood Market.
Are you ready for this year's formal events? Weddings, homecoming, Mardi Gras, prom, pageants. Debbie's Bridal is having an inventory blowout sale. Don't be left out. Prices range from 20% off to 80% off. Happening now. Debbie's Bridal, Burnside in Gonzales.
Cypress Lake Apartments are conveniently located off Segan Lane in Baton Rouge, a CLK multifamily management property. Come see this community, which has many amenities, including swimming pools, fitness room, playground, and much more. 1, 2, and 3 bedroom apartments. Stop by Cypress Lake Apartments, call 225-293-6789, or go online, live at cypresslakeapts.com. We continue with Tigers Roar, and we tell you all about Scoreboard, Sports Grill and Catering, Coursey Boulevard, next to Anton's Fine Jewelers, just to the east of Coursey and Airline. You'll see the sign, you'll see the place, Scoreboard, Sports Grill and Catering. You say, what's that going to be? How about fun, family, food, drink, music, sports, a sound stage for radio and television shows. You've got a video wall, you got TVs everywhere. all kind of things planned. There'll be a sportscaster contest. You want to have your own radio show, your own TV show? There'll be a contest. You might
See how easy it is.
You might be the winner. That's harder than some people think. I will say that. But I was over at Scoreboards today. A lot of people working very hard. They're very close. I've been saying for weeks that they're close, and they might have something planned real soon. So this is what you got to do. Go to Facebook, Scoreboard, Sports Grilling Catering, Twitter. You got the Pelican Broadcasting page. As soon as we can put confirmed information, they are all ready to go. All the paperwork is done.
They're polishing
They are ready to go. Scoreboards, Marty's got the fix-it tool right over there, so they are ready to go. Really, really, really close.
So
follow them on Facebook and all of us on Facebook, all the radio and TV shows. The minute we can give you solid confirmed information, we will.
So Pelican Broadcasting is expanding.
They're expanding. They're going to do more and more.
And we're going to have live shows, and people can interact. And they got some really cool stuff. I sat in a basketball chair with the leather of the ball is the cushion and the back, and it just felt good. So
you're a basketball guy.
They're going to have a baseball theme, football theme. It's all about scoreboards. It's all fun. It's all fun.
Music's been a big part of all of us folks at Pelican, as you know, for a long, long time. Music's going to be a key part, but family, fun, tailgating, catering. I mean, a lot of things are planned. There's no place like it in Baton Rouge, I can promise you. A lot of places out there, we understand. This will be unique, and you're going to need to be a part of it.
Scoreboards, where there's a tailgate going on every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
7 days a week, man.
Every day is a tailgate party.
It's going to rock and roll.
That's right.
Hey, let's get to Coach Ed Orgeron. Still to come on tonight's program, Brandon Marcello from Auburn Undercover. Brandon Marcello will give us the Auburn perspective. Mike Scarborough, TigerBait.com. But right now, Coach Ed Orgeron talking about his football team.
Welcome, guys. Tell the Truth Monday. Good win for us, 2-0. Going into a big-time battle with Auburn. Excited to see the team today. I know they're going to be excited this week for our preparation against a very, very tough Auburn football team. Some things about the game. We're proud that we won the turnover battle again, +3. We're +5 for the year. Haven't committed a turnover yet, and that's something we work very hard on. A good defensive performance to get a shutout. The guys played for 60 minutes. We worked hard on that shutout. Let them in the end zone at the end. Some guys that I thought that played really well on defense, Devin White, Neil Farrell in his first game to have a lot of snaps. I thought he played outstanding. Brady Fehoko, 2 good games in a row for him. Micah Baskersfield, who took the place of Jacob Phillips, played outstanding. I thought those guys played really good. Another good outing by special teams. Cole Tracy, 50-yard field goal. Avery Atkins, 5 kickoffs out the end zone. Zach Rosenberg, 4 punts inside the 20. Again, Coach Mack did a tremendous job on special teams. On offense, Nick Brissett with 137 yards rushing. As I said, no turnovers. And I thought we used the clock right before half. Excellent with the Hail Mary pass at the end. A good catch, good throw by Joe, and good catch by Stephon Sullivan. We need to improve on our pass protection and our overall passing game. We're going to make some adjustments this week to make improvements in that area. On to Auburn, +2 in the turnover ratio. Offense, Jarrett Stidham's one of the best quarterbacks we're going to see all year. Tre'Travious Whitlow, excellent physical running back. Ryan Davis, excellent athlete out there. 6 returning starters on offense. Very well coached by Gus Malzahn. Up-tempo, physical, screens, get the ball in the perimeter, hit shots. Very explosive football team, averaging 500 yards on offense. On defense, Kevin Steele is doing a tremendous job with his 4-3 defense. It's led by his front 7. Derek Brown, who I try to recruit, reminded me of Reggie White when I met him. He's that size. He's that type of football player. I think he's outstanding. Now, Travis Russell, Marlon Davidson, Nick Cole, I know all these guys, try to recruit them all. They've done a good job of recruiting this front 4. They're fast at linebackers, aggressive at the secondary. Their safeties hardly miss any tackles, and they're very solid on the special teams. We're excited about this week, opening SEC play. We're going to have our guys back. We should be fairly healthy this week going into the game. We're looking forward to a very tough matchup against Auburn. Any questions?
Coach, you mentioned just a minute ago how you guys have 0 turnovers so far this season, and the defense have proved to be pretty dominant so far. So what are you guys' plans going up against a pretty dominant Auburn offense this weekend?
Yeah, you go against Gus Malzahn, you have to stop the run, you have to tackle. They're physical, they run the ball in between tackles. You have a lot of good schemes on the perimeter, the screens, the bubble screens, all the jailbreak screens, and then he's going to lure you in to bring in the safeties in and throw the ball behind your head and throw it deep. So he has an overhaul plan. You have to protect the whole field against Gus Malzahn for 60 minutes, and you have to tackle well and be physical.
Coach, over here on your right, we saw a lot of 7 and 8 man protection Saturday night in order to better protect the quarterback. Is there any thought as to whether or not it ends up being a net negative because there's not as many options for the quarterback to get rid of the ball?
You know, that's an option, to go empty and go 4 wides and throw the quicks. 2 of the times that we had protection, we had a chip on, and Bedora had help, but Joe held the ball too long, and the receivers wasn't open. So you bring up a good point, and those are options. We can go empty. We can go 4 wides. It's less protection. We are taking a chance of beating 1-on-1, though.
Ed down here. How do you think Austin Deculus did filling in a left tackle, and do you think he might maybe compete a bit more at right tackle?
Yeah, we're going to move him to right tackle this week, give him a chance to compete with Bedora, see who has the best week. It's a very good observation on your part. Go.
Coach O, talk about Avery Atkinson, Akins, his performance. He's been great, but also the second part, he is from Auburn.
Yeah.
Recruiting him, do you remember how it was trying to recruit him from there?
Well, I got to give the credit to Coach Mack. Coach Mack did all the work. Great parents. Avery's a 4.0 grade point average student. Always wanted to come to LSU. And when his parents came here, his father loved it. They wanted to be here. And Avery is going to earn himself a scholarship here at LSU as soon as I can get him one. And he is going to be our kicker for the next 3 years, which I'm happy about. I know he's excited about going home. But I know this, with any of our players, it's never going to be about any individual. It's about the team.
Coach, can you speak to the challenge your offensive line faces this week against Auburn's defensive line, and then second, with the crowd noise as well, facing a hostile crowd for the first time?
There'll be a lot of things we have to face this week. First of all, we have to fix ourselves, and there's some things that we can fix. There's some technical errors that we can fix. Getting Sadiq back at left tackle will help us. Moving Austin to right tackle, give Bedora some help. Remember, he's a junior college player. This is his first time in full action, so we believe he's going to be a good player. He was thrown into the action, and he did do some good things, but he did make some mistakes. The crowd noise we're going to work in all week. We'll be ready to go. I believe our offensive line will have its best game come Saturday. I totally believe in what we're doing.
Coach in the back here, Joe Burrow has 2 games under his belt now. How have you seen his leadership grow through those 2 games, and how do you think it's going to grow in a hostile environment like Auburn?
You saw him run the ball a little bit more, and he can make some plays, extending the plays with his feet. I think you're going to see more of that. He's growing comfortable with his teammates. I think that Joe is going to lead by example, and as soon as he wins the big game, I think you're going to see a lot more confidence in him, but he feels, and so do I, that he has to prove himself, and the only way to prove yourself around here is win the big game.
Coach, you just referenced Joe making plays with his feet. After the game, he said he's not a slider.
Yeah.
He's fixing to face some pretty stout defenses.
Yeah.
You got any words of advice to him?
Joe has the mentality of a fullback. I mean, he wants to go and hit him, a linebacker and stuff like that. But me and Coach Ensminger are going to have a conversation with him.
Hey, Coach, is Michael Divinity going to be back Saturday, and just plans around him being there?
Say it again.
Just the plans with Michael this week?
Yeah, Mike's going to play this week. He's going to play. Sadiq's going to play. John Trey's going to play, and Ed Alexander's going to play. Those guys will play this week.
Coach, last time at Auburn wasn't good for LSU, but things kind of changed after that game. What do you remember about that game, the ride back and everything?
Tough fight. Last play we scored. Time ran out on the clock. Emotional day for everybody, obviously. Coach Miles did a great job for everybody over here. That was an emotional time for everybody. And unexpected things happen, but that's football, and we dealt with it, and then we moved on.
Coach, in retrospect, how limited have you guys been in the passing game, just given the amount of pressure that you guys have seen in the offensive line?
Well, you know, I don't want to say we're limited at all. I mean, we're free to call the plays we want to, the personnel group we want to. We ought to be better in the passing game. I think that it can't be put on all the protection. I think that we need to catch the ball when we're throwing the ball. We need to get open more. We need to be more creative in what we're doing, and I think we're going to do that.
Ed, to your left over here. What are some of the specifics you do with Joe to prepare him for a road start? Obviously, silent counts, that sort of thing. What do you do specifically, maybe different than what you've done maybe the last 2 games?
Yeah, you know, Steve's going to work with him on that. I don't coach Joe at all. I'll kind of stay out of it, to be honest with you. I'll let Steve do it. But, you know, we're going to have crowd noise all week. We're going to play game copies so he can understand how loud it is. But he's been in some loud games before. And specific stuff you do regularly on the road, we'll do with him. And he's able to do it. This will not be foreign to Joe Burrow.
I believe you mentioned on the teleconference last week that you texted Kevin Steele, after the Washington game. I was curious, have you talked to him at all this week?
Not this week.
What do you expect, I guess, to see out of him this week in his defense?
He's great. Kevin's a great friend, a great recruiter, a great coach. I'm happy for him. I hope he gets a shot as another head coach. I think he'd be fantastic. Just a tremendous man to work with on a daily basis. You know, he's calling the right defenses. He has his guys in the right places. He's letting them play. It looks like he's having fun. I'm happy for him.
They will travel over there on Friday, and it'll be Tigers versus Tigers. It'll be a full stadium, and as you pointed out,
The loudest
stadium.
venue I've ever been to.
And it is. I've been there, but it's pretty cool in that War Eagle.
Not pretty cool. It is the most awesome sight.
You know what I
can
always
find.
wondered about that? I mean, they can't practice with 100,000 people in the building. That bird
Thank
pretty
God that
sharp.
bird
That
goes
War
where
Eagle
it goes.
pretty sharp.
Yes,
yeah,
indeed.
it's good. All right, we'll take a break. We come back. Speaking of Auburn, he works for Auburn Undercover, 24/7 Sports. He's joined us the last couple of years on Auburn Week here on Tigers Roar. Brandon Marcello, he'll join us. We'll talk about the Auburn football team right after this pause on Tigers Roar. Stay with us.
Creel Tree Service is a licensed and insured tree service providing tree and stump removal, topping, trimming, cabling, pruning, and fertilizing. We have free stump removal with takedowns, free estimates, affordable rates, and senior citizens discounts. Call 774-TREE. That's 774-8733. Get your yard ready for the warmer weather. If it deals with a tree, call me, Creel Tree Service, 774-8733. That's 774-TREE.
When my wife and I started Relief Windows, what we were trying to do, what our goal was to give a quality job to a homeowner. Everybody's scared of contractors. We wanted to change the mold of what that is. Not showing up on time, not answering the phone, somebody running with your money. The reason why you should pick Relief Windows to do your renovation of your home, windows, doors, hardy plank, or siding, is because of the experience, quality service of our company. Service is everything we have. It's the foundation of our company. We're going to show up on time. We're going to do the job right. Over 60% of our customers is customer referral. We're a local company here in Baton Rouge, built in Baton Rouge, staying in Baton Rouge. Okay. The job's not done until you're happy and we're happy. It's built the old-fashioned way, with a handshake. Here at Relief Windows, it's an honor to be official window, door, and siding company of LSU Athletics, from one winning team to another.
They said I could find you here. Why are you fishing? Our company's got to ship out 2 full color brochures and 20 color copies. You're killing me.
It's done. Designed, printed, packaged, and shipped.
How?
You just got to know the right people. Baker Printing, the printing people.
How come you get to fish in this private lake?
Like I said, you just got to know the right people. You can know the right people too.
The Acord Eye Clinic has moved to a new office, just minutes from the old office at 8280 YMCA Plaza Drive, Building 9. Dr. Shonda Acord and her staff welcome patients of all ages, including children and adults. They have a wide variety of frames and sunglasses, including Maui Jim. The Acord Eye Clinic features modern instruments and state-of-the-art technology, including digital retinal scanning with Optomap, hard-to-fit contact lenses, as well as professional care and service. Open Monday through Friday, 8 till 5. Call for an appointment, 225-767-EYES, and visit the website visionsource-br.com. The Acord Eye Clinic looks forward to seeing you.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-654-9927, 800-654-9927.
We continue with Tigers Rule.
Right here on Pelican and LSU Auburn, Saturday, 2:30 kickoff, Jordan-Hare Stadium from Auburn Undercover, 247 Sports. Our good friend Brandon Marcello, kind enough to join us. Brandon, what's the vibe at Auburn these days? This is always a big matchup. It always has major implications in the SEC race and chase. No different this year.
Yeah, and whenever this game comes early on the schedule in September, especially under the Gus Malzahn era, there's a little kind of some antsy moments from the fan base because of what they've seen happen, down in Baton Rouge. But they've been successful here at Jordan-Hare Stadium against LSU. But this LSU team seems a little bit different to these coaches. Obviously, they're number 12 in the nation and top 15 matchup, and one that they think is going to be pretty tough.
Brandon Marcello, Auburn Undercover, kind enough to join us. I remember last season, and it seemed to me that although Auburn blew the lead and lost the ball game, that actually benefited Auburn from a stylistic standpoint in that they figured out what they were doing with Jarrett Stidham really wasn't the best way to utilize him, and he became a much better quarterback after that game.
Yeah, that offense they were running in the second half of that game was so predictable and so pedestrian. They ran the ball 17 straight times on first down. So you tell me what LSU's defense is going to do on first down.
Yeah.
So it was very frustrating for the fans to watch, and certainly for the players. And I think the players, credit to them for rallying around Gus Malzahn, because after that they could have said, screw this. I mean, you put us in this position. You weren't calling great plays. We shouldn't have been in that position. But Gus Malzahn told them, listen, it's not the end of the world. This happened to us once before in 2013. We managed to rally back to go to the SEC championship game. And they believed in them. And Auburn did just that. And they went to the SEC title game, won 5 straight, including 2 against number 1 team.
Amazing.
It proved to be what kind of catapulted them, and they almost became the first 2-loss team to ever make the playoff. But, of course, they lost to Georgia in the SEC championship game and ended those hopes. So, and then, of course, LSU. I mean, they've won 8 of their last 10 under Coach O, and it was kind of a turning point for both teams, both programs, even though one lost, which is interesting. You never quite see that a lot.
Hey, Les Miles' last game a couple years ago was at Auburn. A couple years ago, that thing went down to the wire, as so many of these contests
Clock
have.
management.
But so it's not Coach Les Miles, it is Coach O. Brandon, your take on Coach Orgeron.
Well, I think, from far away, obviously I'm not in the thick of things there, but it just seems like he's kind of matured as a coach, and he's kind of followed that path of being more of a CEO type, getting the right type of coaches in. He's not afraid to make quick-fire decisions when it comes to his staff. And I think in the past he's probably had an issue with that, especially when he was at Ole Miss. He kind of just not recruited, but he coached, hired coaches that were kind of recruiters, and they couldn't quite coach them up. I think at LSU he's learned his lesson. I think he learned his lesson, obviously, and just being an assistant coach at Tennessee, and then again at USC and being that interim guy. And I think this year obviously is very important for him. I mean, if he can get, the double-digit wins with this LSU team this year, I think that would be phenomenal and really put them in a great foundation to be contending for SEC titles once again. And I think this year is very crucial for him to do that. And you saw the early signs in that opener against Miami, that, playing LSU football and getting those turnovers and then turning those into points. But I think this game, obviously, for both teams, both Auburn and LSU, it's a proving point game. Whoever wins this is going to obviously probably be the main challenger to Alabama in the West, in my opinion.
Brandon, I'm glad you mentioned the opening win for LSU. You had a big opening win as well over a very good Washington team. It seemed to be two similar teams in the fact that they both rely heavily on defense. LSU's defense very good. They both create turnovers. Just how good is this Auburn defense in your mind?
I think they're top 15 quality, maybe top 10. And it all starts with their defensive line. They're extremely deep. They returned 9 of their 10 guys from the 2 deep along the defensive line from last season.
Wow.
And what's different about this group this year is they usually rely on just one player to be their stat guy. It was Carl Lawson, and then it was Jeff Holland last year. This year, they think that it could be 3 to 4 guys that lead the team every other week or so. And so far, that's been the results in at least the first 2 weeks. Against Washington, the defensive line was credited with 4 sacks, and they were all by 4 different players. And they were getting pressure on Jake Browning pretty consistently, and obviously did a great job of defending the run, holding Myles Gaskin under 100 yards, a guy who's rushed for 1,000 yards in 3 straight years and is trying to break the Pac-12 record this year. So it all starts up front with them. There might be some weaknesses in the secondary, but they kind of can mask that whenever they get to the quarterback and apply pressure. And Kevin Steele, to me, has shown more this season that he's willing to blitz in some really crucial situations where you might be tempted to kind of drop guys back. With the game on the line against Washington, with 3rd down, instead of letting maybe Washington pick up a few yards and maybe tackle them before they get the 1st down, he sent an all-out blitz and risked everything, and it paid off. Sacked Jake Browning. Then on 4th down, did the same exact thing and sacked them again to end the game. So they've been really, very aggressive on defense this season.
Brandon, both teams only have 2 games under their belt. What do you think Auburn has to do Saturday afternoon to have success and end up with a win?
I think they've got to run the ball a lot better than what they have. I mean, against Washington, they only averaged 3.6 yards per carry. They just played an FCS opponent, averaged 7 yards a carry, but it's probably the worst FCS team Gus Malzahn's faced since he's been the head coach here. So I don't know if you can read much into that. They've got to run the ball better. They did it was only the final 4 carries, but it was the final 4 carries that proved to be the difference in the game against Washington. They rushed for 37 yards on their last 4 carries, including their 10-yard touchdown run to win the game. And I think more than anything, especially when LSU's kind of been the early game in September for Auburn, for whatever reason, they're having issues trying to figure out who their starting running back's going to be or who their bell cow is. And going into this game, they're acting like it's kind of a wishy-washy situation again. They can't decide between Cam Martin and Jartavius Whitlow as their main guy, and neither guy has been, a 100-yard back yet, except for in that FCS game when Whitlow got more carries. But Gus Malzahn said he only got more carries because he's a redshirt freshman. He's trying to give him some experience. So, there's kind of an identity crisis at the running back spot, and typically they turn out a 1,000-yard running back, but I don't know if there is one on this team right now. And I don't know if the coaches know that either. And I think that hesitation could affect them a little bit along with an offensive line that they've had to retool and rebuild completely since last season. So there's a lot of questions about the run game. If they can run the ball, they'll win this game. If they can't, it's going to be very close, if not maybe a very surprising LSU win in the fact that it might be double digits. If Auburn is one-dimensional in this game, it can prove to be a huge, huge issue.
Brandon, tell folks how they can keep up with your work, all your advanced stories, the fans that want to see things from the Auburn perspective.
Well, I'm on Twitter at @DMarcello, and check us out at auburn.247sports.com.
Brandon, thank you, buddy. We greatly appreciate it. We'll see you on the Plains, where he says it's going to be 94, but not as hot as Red Stick. So thank you, Brandon. Take care, buddy.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right. So both defenses are very good. Kicking game is significant, and I think LSU has the advantage there. Both teams trying to find their identity offensively. Stidham putting up bigger numbers than Joe Burrow. We'll see what happens. Always a tough game.
We'll take a break, come back. Mike Scarborough, TigerBait.com, with a quick recruiting update. Much more to come right here on Tigers Roar. Stay with us.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
You've got to be kidding me. Our insurance rates went up again. Did you get another ticket?
Oh man, play cool.
You again.
Officer?
You don't need a new car to have new technology. Mike's Audio, conveniently located on Airline Highway near the corner of Bluebonnet.
You got me a radar detector?
It's a lot cheaper than another ticket.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing. You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day. Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
For Total Home Pest Control, who are you going to call?
Call the Bug Man, 923-BUGS.
For total pest control for your home or business, call the original Salvant.
Call the Bug Man today, 923-BUGS.
We continue with Tigers Roar as we do each and every week. Time to visit with Mike Scarborough of TigerBait.com. Get a quick hit on recruiting here. Mike, good evening. How are you?
Hey, doing well.
I've never seen it before. This kid, the 2020 commit, TJ Finley from Ponchatoula, a night for the record books against Denham Springs.
Yeah, unbelievable. Almost 700 yards, touch 63-62. I see him on the sideline before the Southeastern game, and I'm walking through there, and people are coming up and congratulating him on the big game and the crazy yards and the touchdown passes. And he says, "Yeah," he goes, "before the game, the Denham Springs fans were chanting overrated at me."
Well, he threw for 7 touchdowns. He ran for 2, and he caught a 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
All in one night.
Yeah. Denham Springs.
I've never seen anything like it.
You want to poke that tiger.
Well,
wow.
As they always say, be careful what you ask for, huh?
Where's LSU stand right now? I mean, I know that players are playing, and Ed Orgeron's out flying in helicopters to go visit Shropshire and these other players. Are you hearing good things after 2 games?
Man, I'm out every Thursday, Friday. I got guys up in North Louisiana filming for us, and we're doing interviews with all of them, and they're getting a real positive feedback. I mean, it's not like we're going out and interviewing the top kids, and we're doing a lot of 2020, by the way. They're all seem to be firm, and Cardell Thomas says he's going to take some visits, but they do that these days. It's been, a long time since coaches got furious when commitments would go on other visits before signing day. So, look, there's a lot left to play out, and you could hit a rough patch in the season and have some scandal, but I just don't see it. I mean, the recruits are engaged. And some of the new hires on the staff, Coach Bush, what he's doing in recruiting, that was just absolutely a fantastic hire by Ed Orgeron.
One last question. I went to your site, and I saw this kid from Destrehan, John Emery.
Right.
Man, that boy can play. They got to figure out a way to get him to decommit from Georgia and come to LSU. He can play.
That's one that when you talk about kids that are you're at risk of getting away from Louisiana, that's the one that you hope you can turn around and have a similar scenario last year with Jamar Chase. Just stay after him. Obviously went and visited him last week. I'm told they feel real good about their chances. I don't know what that's based on, but they've got to stay after him. But look, if Noah Kane wants to commit from IMG Academy, it's a bird in hand, and you take your 2 running backs to signing day, and you move on.
Gotcha.
But if you could have John Emery, he's the pick.
Yeah.
Mike, tell us all about TigerBait.com and what the folks are going to get when they go there and why they should subscribe today.
That's it. We're loaded down with recruiting. Nobody can touch our video. Like I said, we're out at 3, 4. One weekend, first weekend, we're at 5 games over the 3-day stretch, and we're loading all up in high def. Check us out at TigerBait.com. For $1, you'll get the entire month to play with the site, get on our message board, or all-day chats every Wednesday. If you're an LSU fan, we'd love to have you, and we think you will really enjoy the website.
Thank you, Michael.
Talk soon.
Okay.
All right, that's Mike Scarborough. You need to check out TigerBait.com. We're going to take a break. When we come back, the guy you haven't heard a whole lot about, or seen, I should say, haven't seen a lot. You did last week, you did this week. Tiger quarterback Joe Burrow. We got some video, some interview stuff with Joe Burrow when we return after this pause on Tigers Roar. Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans, spread the roar. We'll be right back.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope.
and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
If you're depressed, drinking, and using drugs, you may need help. And the Affordable Care Act guarantees coverage of substance abuse. Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Are you losing hope? You can recover and get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven, gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment with someone who cares.
Call 800-383-8177. 800-383-8177.
The Acord Eye Clinic has moved to a new office, just minutes from the old office at 8280 YMCA Plaza Drive, Building 9. Dr. Shonda Acord and her staff welcome patients of all ages, including children and adults. They have a wide variety of frames and sunglasses, including Maui Jim. The Acord Eye Clinic features modern instruments and state-of-the-art technology, including digital retinal scanning with Optomap, hard-to-fit contact lenses, as well as professional care and service. Open Monday through Friday, 8 till 5. Call for an appointment, 225-767-EYES, and visit the website visionsource-br.com. The Acord Eye Clinic looks forward to seeing you.
They said I could find you here. Why are you fishing? Our company's got to ship out 2 full color brochures and 20 color copies. You're killing me.
It's done. Designed, printed, packaged, and shipped.
How?
You just got to know the right people. Baker Printing, the printing people.
How come you get to fish in this private lake?
Like I said, you just got to know the right people. You can know the right people too.
Are you ready for this year's formal events? Weddings, homecoming, Mardi Gras, prom, pageants. Debbie's Bridal is having an inventory blowout sale. Don't be left out. Prices range from 20% off to 80% off. Happening now. Debbie's Bridal, Burnside in Gonzales.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Hello. Hola. 你好.
Experience what the Baton Rouge International School can offer your children. Now welcoming displaced students for short and long-term stability.
Hail Mary.
Just saw Joe Burrow throw the whole
Steph Sullivan.
The Hail Mary for the
Yes.
touchdown end of the play, end of the halftime last week. Here's Tiger quarterback Joe Burrow, then we'll come back and tell you about scoreboards.
Obviously, a couple times I held the ball a little too long. A lot of things we can get corrected this week in practice.
What are the things that you can work on and improve upon? I mean, a lot of what we saw was not necessarily quarterback related, so it's more the offensive line as a whole, you know, everybody working in concert. So how do you go about fixing those things for week 3 when you have a great opponent coming in?
Yeah, that just comes with experience. As an offensive line, it's really important that you work together. You can't play offensive line with 3 people, 4 people. You got to play with 5 people, and they all have to be working together in unison. And I know they're going to get it right, just like I'm going to get my stuff right, and just like the receivers are going to get their stuff right. And we're all going to work together to get it fixed.
Do you feel missing Sadiq last week and maybe Traore, being a little still new to the program, had some issues there?
We play with the guys that we have. I thought Austin Deculus stepped in very well for Sadiq, and Austin has been a very good player for us through camp.
Now he's going to go look at the right side. You like that idea?
I do like that idea. I think Badara played very well, has some things to work on, just like we all do. But Austin, if an opportunity is there for him, I think he'll seize it.
Coach says you have the mentality of a fullback.
Well, I like to think that's a good thing. I don't think you can play football with the so-called mentality of a quarterback, I guess. You have to play hard-headed. You have to play attacking football, and I think that's a good thing.
Coach says he will have a talk about sliding.
Yeah. I'm going to try to take some hits off of me. I don't know if I'm going to do the full Tom Brady slide, but I'll definitely try to take some hits off myself.
What's the biggest crowd you face when, I guess, at Ohio State? Away crowd.
I would say either Michigan or Penn State. Both those were great places to play. I'm excited to see how those stack up to places like Auburn.
What are your expectations on that fan? What do you expect? You're going to definitely hear a lot of boos, a lot of yelling.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm expecting not to be able to hear any of my teammates. They're not going to be able to hear me. We're going to have to go on some silent count, I think, unless it's not as loud as I think it's going to be, but I expect it to be that loud.
Certain receivers, do you have a special handshake that maybe you guys know a different route, or he knows what you're saying? No?
Nope.
It's all the same?
All the same.
Joe, given the amount of pass pressure you guys have seen so far through the first 2 weeks, do you guys feel a little limited in the passing game?
I don't feel that way. I think with the success defenses have had against us, blitzing, I think we'll see it more. Just like Coach O always says, it's a copycat league. So we're going to get that fixed this week in practice, and that comes with me seeing where the blitz is coming from and setting the protection, and it also comes with the offensive line seeing it as well.
You guys feel like you got to be a little more creative on offense and maybe get Giles involved in a quick passing game?
Giles is a great playmaker for us. I think it would be a good idea to get Jonathan involved a little more. But that's not my job. My job is to execute the game plan.
How much of it is going to quicks, going to screens, going to things that can take some pressure off of that line and getting the ball out of your hands?
That's for Coach Ensminger to find out, and that's for me to execute what he gives me. I can give him suggestions. I can give them what I think. But at the end of the day, it's a working game plan, and it's for me to execute and for them to come up with.
Joe, with 2 games under your belt, do you really feel like you've established a leadership on the team? And then how do you feel like that's going to be an advantage going into Auburn?
Yeah, I feel like I have. We obviously have a lot of great leaders on the team, guys like Bruiser and Foster and Rashard, Devin White. So I just try to fit in with those guys, follow the lead, and try to find my own niche as a leader.
How about Foster? I had a couple big plays for you, I think, some big catches down the field. Just the ability to stretch the field from that position is something they haven't seen a lot of out of the LSU Tigers.
Yeah, he was one of the guys that was always in there with me on Saturdays with Justin and a couple other guys, and Foster works really hard, and with those catches that he had on Saturday, he's the first to tell you that he had a bad game. That's the kind of guy that he is. He's always striving to be perfect.
Do you know anything about this Auburn defensive line you're going up against?
Yeah, they're obviously one of the top units in the country. You can see how fast they get off the ball on film. They're really quick, really strong, and we're going to have our hands full with them.
Do you feel like this is a game you kind of have to prove yourself with it being the first SEC home opener?
Yeah, I would say I do. I'm excited for the opportunity. It's obviously against a really good team with playoff contention, and I'm excited to see what we can do against them.
And along that same vein, you guys haven't played your best football, I'm sure. Is that a motivating factor for this team to kind of keep them, primed and ready to roll?
Absolutely. I think our best football is in front of us, hopefully in front of us closer on Saturday. But I think with the way that we work, I think it's closer than we think.
How was your first home game in Tiger Stadium?
It was a good experience. The fans were great. We didn't play as well as we would like to, but we're going to get it fixed, and hopefully they'll see a better product on the field next time we're out there.
Coach admits that you can't recreate the enthusiasm for Miami that for Southeastern. You kind of expecting more of what you had against Miami going into this one, top 10 team and big challenge.
Yeah, I think we'll be a little more focused. Obviously, you have to be focused for every game, and it showed on Saturday. But it's hard to come off a game like Miami and come out and be really excited for the next week because you come off such a high, and then you take a kind of a deep breath, but you can't afford to do that when you're playing really good teams, and that's what happened on Saturday.
Couple more. I know you haven't faced Jarrett Stidham yet, but kind of what are your thoughts on him? Coach O said he's going to be one of the best quarterbacks the defense has faced.
Yeah, watching from afar, he's a really accurate passer, really strong arm, obviously an NFL prospect. To see what he was able to do at Baylor and then come to Auburn and see what he was able to do. His skills obviously transfer from school to school, and that's something that really makes a good quarterback.
Joe, what kind of challenges do you face with a loud crowd and I guess working this week with the pre-snap stuff and the snap counts and maybe a silent count going into this week?
Yeah, that's the main thing when you go on the road is you have to learn to communicate without being able to hear each other, and that's obviously really hard. To be able to communicate the play and then communicate the adjustments at the line of scrimmage to what you're seeing on defense all in under 25 seconds with the crowd yelling, it feels like right in your ear. It's going to be a challenge. I think we've practiced some of it throughout camp and throughout the last couple of weeks, so I think we'll be prepared for it.
Did you feel like you got a taste of that during that crowd in Arlington with Miami fans kind of?
It wasn't too loud in Arlington. We were able to hear each other. I'm not expecting us to be able to hear each other this week.
Scoreboards, very, very close, very, very soon. Coursey Boulevard next to Anton's Fine Jewelers, a little bit to the east of Coursey and Airline. Food, family, fun, music, sports, TVs, soundstage, TV shows, radio shows.
Tailgating every day at Scoreboards. Tigers Roar will be there soon. Very soon.
Follow Scoreboards on Facebook, on Twitter. Look it up. Scoreboard, Sports Grill and Catering, also on Instagram in Baton Rouge, Coursey Boulevard. We've been telling you coming soon. Now we're saying coming very soon.
I got an earth-shattering prediction here.
What's that?
The Tigers are going to win Saturday in Auburn. The Tigers are going to win.
Winning.
What's Auburn's nickname?
Hopefully y'all smart enough to know what he's doing there. And we're going to be seeing you at Scoreboards in not too long. Stay connected to social media. All the radio and TV guys will let you know. Thank you to Brandon Marcello, Mike Scarborough, Jordy Hoper, the entire crew at the Pelican. I'm Tommy Christ, and spread the roar. You've been watching Tigers Roar on Pelican Sports TV.
It's time to find out the truth about health insurance.
True or false? I can't get health insurance because I missed the open enrollment period. False.
If you had a life change such as moving, getting married, having a child, or a job loss, you are eligible to buy a new policy.
I don't have a life-changing event, so I can't get health insurance. False.
You can purchase affordable short-term policies even if it's not open enrollment.
I have to spend hours shopping around for an insurance policy that's right for me. False.
Call Healthcare will connect you with licensed agents that do the work for you, comparing hundreds of options, making sure you get a policy that fits all your needs at the best price.
Call now and we'll connect you to a licensed agent that will answer all your questions. The call and the service are free, so what are you waiting for?
Call Healthcare, getting the coverage you need at a price you can afford. Call now. Representatives are standing by to assist you.